Hi, I'm Brenton Goodman, and this is You Decide. Today, we will discuss whether parents should be able to shield their kids from LGBTQ inclusive lessons in schools. Recently, the Supreme Court decided a case known as Mahmoud v. Taylor. The case involved a decision by Montgomery County, Maryland, to create a curriculum more representative of the students and families living there. To do that, the county chose 5 LGBTQ inclusive books to add to the lessons for children ages 5 to 11. The teachers put the books on the bookshelves, offered the books for use in reading circles, and included them in classroom discussions. The county believes that these books, along with the non-LGBTQ books, create lessons that teach students there is not a normal or right way to be oneself. The county sought to assure parents that none of the books would be used to instruct on gender or sexual identity. Although the county originally let parents withdraw their kids on days these lessons were taught, it stopped because notifying all the parents was too difficult, having the children miss lessons was harmful to the class, and the absence of some students during the lessons could make the children of LGBTQ families feel vilified. Now, the parents who wanted their children excused from the lessons claimed religious exemption because they believe mankind is created by God as just males and females, that sexuality should only be expressed between married men and women, and they believe teaching that biological sex is different than gender is a refusal to accept the gifts God gave us. Now, the court ultimately ruled in favor of the parents who had religious issues with the county's lessons. Now, generally, public schools are allowed to place what we call incidental burdens on religious exercise as long as the government's rules are neutral and can apply to everyone. The idea is that in a political society, laws must apply to everyone for the greater good. For instance, a person can't avoid paying taxes that help fund war-related activity just because they believe war is a sin. This is because such exceptions would severely limit the government's ability to keep us safe. However, in this case, the court reasoned parents have a constitutionally granted right to raise their children with their religious values, and that the county's failure to let parents remove the children from the lessons on the particular days was substantial interference with the rights of those parents. Now, supporters of this view say the right to direct a child's religious upbringing extends outside of one's home, and since not everyone can afford private religious schools, the right must apply in public schools as well. And since these books are presented to young and impressionable children, exposure to LGBTQ beliefs and values would undermine the teachings the parents want their children to learn. They say forcing lessons on children that indicate the LGBTQ lifestyle to be normal and acceptable is a type of coercion and indoctrination that goes way beyond just allowing for a space where LGBTQ families can be present and safe. They also say the lessons can still be taught. This ruling just says some parents can opt their children out of the lessons like the county allows for other educational areas. They say this is simply just protecting their freedom to exercise their religious beliefs and not inhibiting other children. Now, opponents say that public schools are meant to expose children of all faiths and backgrounds to different beliefs and ideas to prepare them to participate in a multicultural society. They point out that the curriculum doesn't teach that LGBTQ lifestyles and families are necessarily proper, but that they do exist, and that their loved ones may celebrate marriage and other types of life events. They point to the fact that books with similar themes of overcoming differences and fairy tale romances and celebrations of life events that involve straight couples are not an issue. So why should LGBTQ books that offer those same themes be any sort of problem? They also point out that simply being exposed to opposite beliefs does not prevent someone from exercising their religion. And just because someone finds LGBTQ lifestyles to be offensive, teaching that it exists and that people within it love one another is not suggesting to children not to believe what's taught at home. And even if a teacher did make such a suggestion, it still wouldn't interfere with a parent's ability to teach their beliefs to their children and say the teacher is just wrong. Last, they say a rule that allows opt outs just creates practical nightmares because now anything that might offend any of the many religions has to be worked out. And instead of doing that, schools may just pull any book or lesson that isn't extremely generic, and so fail in preparing our children to live in a multicultural society. So, should parents be able to take out their children from schools on days LGBTQ plus books are used? You decide. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.